They are.
Let me pull up this story we got from the Washington Post. This is relatively nebulous, I suppose. Justice Department investigating Trump's actions in January 6th criminal probe. People familiar with the probe said investigators are examining the former president's conversations and seized phone records of top aides. What they don't say is Trump the target of this criminal probe? No, the Washington Post just says Trump's actions. It doesn't even say they're investigating Trump himself. They may be passively referring to, well, Trump said this one thing. What does that have to do with it?
And I guarantee you right now there's a panel on MSNBC wringing their hands, and John Dean's on there talking about, sort of his experience with Nixon. It's just a, and I mean, it's a trail of morons, quite frankly, that then will jump on a story like that and immediately wildly speculate, not only as to that Trump is the target, they'll say, not knowing, and then they will usually immediately convict him and suggest again say the worst possible things about him. It's got to be infuriating.
Well, so this is never ending. I mean, Russiagate was a farce. It was a hoax. How come none of these people are being held to account? Mm-hmm. I mean, high-ranking individuals signing off on this stuff. You look, you were I think you were in for about, how long were you in for? About a year as acting AG?
4 months.
4 months, yeah. Much less.
I spanned to 2018 and 2019. So
okay,
yeah, looks better on my resume.
Right, that must be what I saw. Well, so I'm wondering in your experience, then, I mean, you're there as AG. Yeah. Why hasn't anyone done anything about this? I mean, do you think if Trump wins in 2024, maybe there will be some accountability for the lies?
Yeah. I mean, I hope when you had Cash on here, he talked about his Durham watch and sort of what John Durham is or isn't doing. You saw how difficult the Michael Sussman prosecution were. I mean, it was very clear that he had lied to the FBI, and a jury in the District of Columbia is never going to convict,
right.
Somebody in that situation.
Well, so I mean, that goes back to my death penalty comments.
Yeah.
Right. You get someone who's a Trump supporter suspected of a very serious, heinous crime. You put him in D.C., they're going to be like, kill him.
Yeah.
That's horrifying.
And that's that two-tier system of justice is something that I'm talking about a lot right now. We have there's no doubt that the left it gets away. You think about the riots in 2020 and compare that to January 6th. I'm sure that some smart lawyer could parse the difference, but it's really not. It's political violence.
Yep.
If those people outside the White House that burned the church right across the street from the White House, if they had, they were trying to get into the White House, they had to build sort of night after night, they kept trying to push the perimeter out, first of all, and build higher fences to keep those folks. I mean, there were police officers were assaulted. There was no doubt about that during those riots. And I mean, again, I'm going to make a bold statement here, but certainly those folks that participated in that over the course of the summer in Washington, D.C. and looted Georgetown and just, did all sorts of things. Nobody was prosecuted to the extent that the people that participated in January 6th. And I'm saying both those should be treated the same. Yeah. Like, political violence is never acceptable, but in this case, the American people see the different treatment of those folks.
I've talked to people; they have no idea what 529 is. I mean, I talk to people all the time, and I say, what are your thoughts on when the 529 riots, when they set fire to a guard post, when they torched the church and tore the barricades down, the president was forced in a bunker. They go, I didn't know that happened. Yeah. Because the media, what happened.
Well, there's the 529 commission. I mean, right?
Yeah,
no,
for sure.
No, but and that's my point. Before the show, you mentioned that at some point it's just not worth it to get paid $170,000 a year to have your life destroyed by the establishment, by the Uniparty, by the Democrats. And so I wonder if that's the reason why you don't get a 529 commission, why Republicans seem to do very little, if anything, at all.
Yeah. Well, I think, in the next year, I expect that there will be a lot more. I mean, I think the right is learning that we can't sit by and play, patty cake while the left tries to destroy literally our entire society and people, everybody's reputations. I mean, I think there is just a final realization that we can't not fight. We'd prefer to actually have a civil dialogue and have a discussion and have the marketplace of ideas that's supposed to work and convince people to you vote for us and vote against them. But I think there is a realization now that the left is just in it to win it, and not only to win it, but like destroy everything in their path for the sake of power.